Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining my
I
presentation
hope you
today.
enjoyed the
I
social work
am
CEU preview
delighted
from Agents
that
of
you have
Change. If you're
chosen
looking to
to
complete this
be
CEU
a part
or for
of
more great continuing
this
education content,
presentation.
please visit
I'm going to be talking about dementia, and it is titled
www.agentsofchangetraining.com.
Dementia,
With
the
Agents
book,
of Change
and
Training, you
its
get unlimited
chapters.
access to
Um,
150
so
plus
while the presentation is
ASWB
going, I'm
approved
going to
continuing education
be
courses. For
sharing.
one
I'm going to turn
low
off my
annual
camera,
fee,
but
we
I'll be
also
sharing my
have 5
PowerPoint
free CEU
presentation.
credits available
But before we
too.
go any further, let
Check it
me
out
introduce
at
myself. My name is Tiffany Works. I have a master's in counseling and I have a
www.agentofchangetraining.com.
master's in social work. I'm also an lmsw. I have been in the social work field since 1996, and hopefully that does not share too much about my age with you, doesn't give my age away too terribly much. But through the years, as a social worker and working in the geriatric population, I have come to love that population. I have come to love my patients, my clients, my families, the caregivers, all of the above. And because of that, I have developed a big passion for wanting to educate those people, the families, the caregivers, the starting my timer, the caregivers, the family members, and the patients about dementia. And in my experience, what I have learned is that many people have a common misconception about dementia. And when talking to patients and families about it, I often have found that they use the words dementia and Alzheimer's interchangeably. And that is simply untrue. And the reason that it is untrue is because, like the title of this presentation, dementia is the name of the book. The different types of dementia, such as Alzheimer's and some other types, are the chapters. And so that's the way that I have learned through the years to describe and educate my families and my patients about dementia and the type of dementia that they have. And the reason that this is important is because it gives them a starting point. It gives them a starting point of where to begin looking for resources or to get help, and even questions to ask. So those things are very important, and I'm very passionate about it. And I want to be able to provide as much education as possible. So much of what I've learned has been through experience and has also been through educational courses and different things that I've done throughout the years. If there's something that I don't know, I always dig a little deeper. I do my own research and I try to learn as much as I possibly can. And as you'll see in the presentation and hear as I talk throughout the presentation, you'll kind of get an idea of maybe how I've learned myself throughout the years. So as I said earlier, I'm going to turn off my camera and I'm going to share my screen with you. I have my PowerPoint pulled up, so let me share my screen here. Let me get this started, and we are going to slideshow and start from the beginning. And I am going to, let's see here, turn off my screen, stop my video. There we go. All right, I have stopped my video. All right, this is my first presentation with Agents of Change, and I hope to present more in the future. As I said, I have developed a passion for those individuals with dementia, and also a passion for educating and learning about dementia. And as I said, the title of this chapter is Dementia, the book and the chapters. And the reason that I titled it that is because, as the picture you see there on your screen says, Dementia, the book. And if you were to open that book up, chapter 1 might say Alzheimer's. Chapter 2 is going to say another type of dementia. So dementia is the title, and Alzheimer's, so on and so on, are the chapters. I've already introduced myself, so without further ado, we'll get going. All right, so our objectives for today are to define dementia, also to provide the update on the changes in the diagnosis in the DSM-5-TR, to learn the importance of differentiating the diagnoses and the types of dementia, to identify common types of dementia, to gain an understanding of the signs and symptoms of some common types of dementia, and to identify the role of social workers. And if nothing else, I hope that by attending this presentation that it encourages you and empowers you to learn more about the subject and to be prepared to provide the best knowledge that you can for your patients, their loved ones, the families, and communities. The definition of dementia. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM, now categorizes dementia as a major neurocognitive disorder. Now, up until 2013, dementia was the actual category. And there's reasons that they changed that, and for reasons that I think we social workers should be very proud of. The National Institute of Aging defines dementia as a disease that involves cognitive loss, a disease that interferes with the activities of daily living, and a disease that changes in control of emotions and personality. Why the change to the DSM? There it is in big bold letters for you, stigma. Like I said, I think this is something that would make us social workers very proud, because as we move forward in this world, you know, everything is about stigma, and everything that we do, we want to be very conscientious of giving a stigma or even labels to people. So I'm happy about that. And the reason for that is because of the Latin translation of the word dementia. So if you see there at the bottom of your screen, the definition, the 1806 definition from Latin means madness, insanity, literally being out of one's mind, mad, raving. And so I didn't know that. And so I'm glad to see that they have taken that out of the DSM and have made it a major neurocognitive disorder. Also, this remains the standard today. It is no longer categorized as dementia in the DSM. And also, more than 4 areas around the world have removed the word altogether. It's not even in their vocabulary. So I think that is a big move in, you know, destigmatizing this and, you know, getting, you know, treating people with dignity and respect. So that, I'm sure, you know, when we were in class or when you were in class, or maybe you're still in class, we saw many videos about the way that the mentally ill or people with mental illness were treated back in the days. They were treated like animals, and, you know, very unsanitary, very unclean, very terrifying and traumatic experiences. And the reason for that is because back before people knew what mental illness was, they looked at people that were possessed. And so that goes right along with the stigma and the Latin definition of dementia. And for example, let's take the Dementors in Harry Potter, for example. And so the Dementors in Harry Potter, it was symbolism, and it symbolized one of the most terrifying creatures in the wizarding world. Dementors were wraith-like creatures that fed on human happiness and generated terrible feelings of despair with any person in close proximity. In the worst case scenario, a Dementor's kiss would allow the Dementor to consume a human soul, leaving them in a vegetative state. They were used for guards at a prison, and they were known to permanently inhabit any other location. So just think about that. If you were around them, they generated terrible feelings of despair. So if you were close to them, a Dementor generated terrible feelings of despair. And that's not what we want for our loved ones. We don't want our loved ones or our patients or clients' family members feeling any terrible feeling of despair. Oftentimes that does happen. And so that's part of the reason that I'm here to educate today on dementia and the different types of dementia, because hopefully through this education, we can decrease that stigma and also decrease the tension and the stress that comes with being a caregiver to someone with a type of dementia. What in the name, you ask?
I hope you enjoyed this social work CEU preview from Agents of Change. If you're looking to complete this CEU or for more great continuing education content, please visit www.agentsofchangetraining.com. With Agents of Change training, you get unlimited access to 150 plus ASWB approved continuing education courses for one low annual fee. We also have 5 free CEU credits available too. Check it out at www.agentsofchangetraining.com.